Who would win? The immortal omnipotent god of war. One dyslexic 6th grader. The Harry Potter fans dealing with J.K. Rowling. Us vibing with Uncle Rick. Percy in his own POV. Percy in everyone else's POV. How we view the sea. How Percy views the sea. Jump boost 726. Speed 747. Fire resistance 734. Strength 742. Water breathing 739. Night vision 728. Phineas and Ferb are the most powerful Hephaestus kids. Change my mind. Me as an adult realizing that Rick just made up the fact that Romans snacked on water. The First Punic War. Oversimplified. Jason, I have the best POV. Piper, no, I have. Annabeth, I have the best one. Meanwhile, the average Percy and Leo POV. So anyway, I started blasting. Hazel, Percy was a child of Poseidon's better nature, powerful, but gentle and helpful, the kind of sea that sped ships to distant lands. Meanwhile, Percy and Tartarus. Say Luke, I hear you like M. Young. If I had a nickel for every time a beloved franchise got a adaptation movie in 2010 that was so bad that fans refused to acknowledge its existence, but later got a live action adaptation show in the 2020s that fans were really hyped for, only for half the fans to love it and the other half to despise it, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Percy after Sally got squidnapped. This is the worst day of my life. The Oracle. This is the worst day of your life so far. Percy being characterized as a Ubisoft boy who is far too silly and love-a-dove to do anything wrong. Percy being characterized as this cool badass, sassy, unfearing war machine. The fandom when making fan and Percy. The 7. It's cool how Percy has 2 sides. Sometimes, he's a fearless noble warrior, and other times, he's a lovable goofball. Annabeth. There's 3, actually. Chiron irritably calling another meeting, after finding out another senior counselor from Aphrodite Cabin has started an OnlyFans. Eris, go get my shield. Percy, quest. I'm already on a quest. When people start telling adult Harry Potter fans they are too old to go to Hogwarts. Percy Jackson fans. What Frank looks like before House of Hades. What Frank looks like after House of Hades. Kronos trying to have a private war meeting. Percy trying to sleep. Beach Boys, City Girls, Mountain Goats. Ain't this the trio from Percy Jackson? Does anyone else ever think about the fact that celestial bronze shooting guns canonically exist in the Riordan verse, and no one we know ever uses them? Like, Piper literally turned down a shotgun for a tiny ace knife because it was a better fit. Demigods tend to die young, yeah, because you'll keep passing over the practical weaponry in favor of the aesthetic. Most online communities, there is a specific bit of lore that once you learn about it, you are officially in too deep, and you can no longer reverse the massive psychic damage you have inflicted on yourself. In this corner of online, it's knowing about Rick saying that Annabeth and Percy just fell asleep in the stables. The entire fandom knowing that more happened. Celestial Bronze. Percy Jackson fans. Imperial Gold. Stygian Art. Jason trying to understand why he's in a bus with a Hispanic goofball and a baddie. Percy coming back to camp after his vacation on Calypso's island. Annabeth reading Percy's eulogy. All of Camp Half-Blood mourning his doubt. Percy Jackson. Harry Potter. My sister. Avatar. The Last Airbender fans. Percy Jackson fans. Not having a live action film. If Percy Jackson met Harry Potter, all I know is Percy isn't naming his kid Dionysus Cronus Jackson. Percy Jackson. The book, the graphic novel, the movie and show. Empire State Building staff after Percy Jackson was released. Damn you, Rick Riordan. Everyone, we need a plan of attack. Coach Hedge, I have a plan. Attack. Damn puns. Percy, Grover, and Thalia. Is this comedy? Dear. You can't defeat me. The gods. I know, but he can. 7 heavily traumatized teenagers. Started in 2005 and became a beloved classic. Got a movie adaptation in 2010 that was universally despised by every fan of the franchise. Got a new adaptation 10 years later that was a little better than the previous one, but is still divisive among fans. You and I are not so different. When the next chapter is in the POV of that one character you couldn't care less about. Me with symptoms of both ADHD and dyslexia. Maybe I'm a demigod. Sea of Monsters. Sea of Monsters, if people just trusted Tyson. Me rereading Mark of Athena and realizing that monsters can be killed with explosives. It's napalm time. Mr. D when he is exiled to Camp Half-Blood as director. I won't kill kids. That's a rule. But that rule's negotiable if the kids are not. Percy Jackson fans trying to claim their incestuous aren't incest. A Song of Ice and Fire fans shamelessly owning up to shipping incest. Percy on bulk jack. Mr. D, I have to go on this quest to save Annabeth. Mr. D, no. Percy, I might die. Mr. D, understandable. Have a nice day. I wish Percy Jackson could be a TV show, and like each book would be a season. You're about 4 years too early. Grover sensing a monster. Coach Hedge sensing a monster. This was as far as they could take us. The river was bulked. A dam the size of a football stadium stood in our path. Hoover Dam. Thalia said. It's huge. This is where the fun begins. But he raised his hand, and my mother flinched. For the first time, I realized something. Gabe had hit my mother. I didn't know when or how much, but I was sure he'd done it. Maybe it had been going on for years when I wasn't around. Literally everyone reading. Gods, I have come to take you. Percy, let me ask my mom. Gods, it's not a choice. Percy, she said no. What is love? A chemical reaction caused by a bunch of bullshit that foolish people crave. Love is the most wonderful thing in life. It's like, baby, don't hurt me, no more. On Halloween, Nico opens the door of the Hades cabin. Nico sees literally the entire camp standing in front of his cabin. Nico, camp. Nico, camp. Nico, really? Camp, yes. Nico, sigh, fine. The earth shakes, skeletons crawl out from it and start to dance. Apollo cabin, play spooky scary skeletons. I don't really have any strong opinions on anything. Selena Beauregard was a traitor. About to go fight. I'll post the video after. I got my ace beat bruh. I'm not posting that shot. Okay, so we all know that Percy is completely blind and didn't realize that Annabeth liked him for years. But can we talk about the fact that she would randomly grab his hand because she was scared multiple times and he'd just bring out the under regular circumstances I would be embarrassed, and then dish out some lame excuse about why he was letting her hold his hand. Like bro, these are your regular circumstances. Just admit you like her already. Entire future of Olympus and demigods. Sharon. Gods. Percy. Gaining immortality. Dying. By anchor in a single book. Percy. Whatever all-powerful being that was stupid enough to hurt Annabeth. Remember when Percy Jackson used her iPod to fight Medusa? Peak of cinema. It's funny since they couldn't even have phones. Demigods. Being a half-blood is scary and means monsters will always be after you. Most of us don't survive into adulthood. Fans. I'm totally an Apollo kid. Annabeth at 12. No, oh Percy, you can't say that about gods, they might get upset. Annabeth at 18. Duck them gods. Percy Jackson. I raise an eyebrow. Who are you? Ruby, your local hoe. Percy Jackson. And what is your name? Ruby, ho. Percy Jackson. And let me guess, you're a child of Aphrodite. Failure, you can fly? Jason, you can't do that. Huh. My wife doesn't want to instill her fear of spiders in our kids, so she calmly reports them to me like some kinda Mayfair boss. Percy, there's a situation near the sink. I need you to take care of it. No loose ends. I want proof when the job is done. Demigod cousins. Step siblings. It's fine cause they don't share DNA. Incel Harry Potter vs Chad Jackson family. Please kill Voldemort. He is literally wizard hodler. No, I can't use the killing curse, that's evil. Wanna turn that a base of Ace Holgabe into a statue then sell him? LMRO, sure. Monsters getting killed in Percy Jackson be like. Duck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mythologies are so boring. There's no way you can make them likable. Uncle Rick, observe. Percy Jackson. Percy finding out who his father is. Really? Are you sure? Teacher, class, does anyone know anything about Greek mythology? Step aside, peasants. My time has come. Percy, when Mars arrives in Camp Jupiter. But I know we have beef. I do not know who I am. I don't know why I'm here. Your friend likes Percy Jackson. He prefers the movies. This is literally Annabeth and Percy's relationship. You ain't jot. I'm sure you're right. But why? Get the job done 100%. Annabeth would chose this one. Not too sure what this one does, but it's blue. Camp Jupiter, yeah. A god showing up here is a super big deal. It's a very rare occurrence. It doesn't even happen within a lifetime for some. Camp Half-Blood points to Dionysus. Been stuck with this dumb ace since 1973. Please, for the love of God, take him. Percy, when his plan actually works, even though Annabeth said it wouldn't. Saves himself and others from dealt by thinking creatively, tricking his enemies, and coming up with effective strategies on the spot. Still gets called dumb. I'm slightly in love with the idea of Percy going to college to study marine biology and then actually getting a job with it and freaking everyone out with his fish voodoo. Like, can you imagine? Hey Jackson, can't see what's wrong with that seal. He's Lonely Jim. What? You didn't even. I said he's Lonely Jim. Somebody please write this. Percy in Titan's Curse. Obianca got lost. Anzo died. And Nico turned into an outcast. But I saved Annabeth. Teaser. Oh my god. Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Every other mythological pantheon watching the Kronos invading New York City be like. Dadak they doing over there. Harry Potter killing a blind basilisk at age 12. Percy Jackson besting Eris in a duel at age 12. Me watching the Percy Jackson show. Me realizing it's going to take at least 20 years until there's a live action Heroes of Olympus. Percy after going into the labyrinth with Annabeth, Rachel, and Nico, having no clue that all of them like him. The entire 12th region. Rihanna, Annabeth. Percy immediately after the love of his life who he hasn't seen for 8 months judo flips him. Understandable. Have a great day. Rihanna realizing she has to single-handedly prevent a war from breaking out after a member of the Greek delegation judo flips a Roman war hero. Percy hanging out on a Gigia with cute chick named Calypso. Everyone else at Camp Half-Blood who think he's dead. He shook his head weakly. Think, rebirth. Try for 3 times. Isles of the Blessed. Annabeth sniffled. You always pushed yourself too hard. He held up his charred hand. Annabeth touched his fingertips. Did you? Luke coughed and his lips glistened red. Did you love me? First reading as a kid. Rereading as an adult. She's 16. Movie. Percy has blue eyes with light scene. He's 17 years old. He has a crush on Annabeth. He's just not sassy. Book. Percy has sea green eyes. He's 12. He considers Annabeth a bit annoying before he gets to know her. The king of sass. Kronos. Rachel. Other fandoms. No, the book is better than the movie. No, the movie is better, book is boring. Percy Jackson fans. We have the worst movie adaptations. Yes. The Percy Jackson series. The Percy Jackson series, if Percy had a gun. Annabeth. Percy. Rachel. Calypso. Nico. Rihanna. Harry Potter. They changed a line in my movie. Artemis Fowl. My movie was cringy. Amateurs. Harry Potter. Artemis Fowl. What was that? Punk. Percy Jackson. Amateurs. Rick Riordan. When people complain and ask who casted the actors, well, of course I know him. He's me. Me and my friend summoned a demon by dancing around a big bonfire while wearing purple robes. When the demon emerged from the flames, however, it didn't want to follow our orders and instead demanded we bring it a McDonald's Happy Meal. We bought it for them, and also a Capri Sun. Pretty sure you summoned Nico D'Angelo, but okay. Me when on December 20th watching Percy Jackson and pretending I don't know what will happen. Pretends to be shocked. Most authors at the beginning of a book. Thank you to my family. You gave me the support I needed. For my lovely child. Enjoy the story. Thank you for reading. Rick Riordan. To Melpomene, the muse of tragedy. I hope you're pleased with yourself. Apollo who recently became mortal. All the enemies of Apollo. Me as a kid relating to the characters in Percy Jackson. Me older realizing that I just have massive trauma and I'm Guy. Me pumped up after seeing an awesome trailer going to see the comments. Recess. Annabeth in Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I don't like Percy. Also Annabeth when someone shows the slightest attraction to Percy. Augustus appears for 2 seconds. Percy, Grover got really old. How long have we been here? We need a name for our lunar operations. Khonsu. Artemis. Apollo. Employee of the month. Harry Potter. Can't you do something about your superiority complex? Percy Jackson. But I'm superior. Annabeth. You took everything from me. Jason. I don't even know who I am. We all know Dionysus looks like this. Jack Bulk either bears a close resemblance to Dionysus, or he straight up is Dionysus. Annabeth might decide to be a huntress. Percy, softly, don't. Never ask a woman her age, a man, his salary, and Raina, Nico, and Coach Hedge. What happened in Albania? My sister Trina convinced me to read the Percy Jackson books. Me reading the chapters titles. Percy pay your child support Jackson. Zeus, the other gods too but him specifically. Percy Jackson. Ben's water. Poseidon. Claims Percy as his son. Everyone in camp half-blood. The campers are not intellectual, to put it mildly. Rereading Percy Jackson. When you're old enough to pronounce everything correctly. Rick Riordan. Luke betrayed the Olympians and now he serves the Titans. Fans. So Zeus and the Olympians are actually good people, and it's right that they are in power, right? Fans. The Olympians aren't tyrants who rule through fear, just because no one is strong enough to oppose them, right? A himbo must be kind, beefy, and stupid. Only kind and beefy? That's just a hunk. Only beefy and stupid? That's just a jock. Only kind and stupid? That's just a decent man. If I had a nickel for every time a beloved childhood series released in 2005 got a horrible live action adaptation released in 2010, and then after 10 years, had an announcement for another remake, which looked promising, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I tried very hard, but I can't help it. The fates are cruel. They sent you to me, my brave one, knowing that you would break my heart. But, I'm just me. That is enough, Calypso promised. I told myself I would not even speak of this. I would let you go without even offering. But I can't. I suppose the fates knew that too. You could stay with me. Percy, I'm afraid that is the only way you could help me. 12 and 22-year-old me. Groover, Ron. Getting duck over in the movies and being casted as Le Funny sidekick. Zeus, god of thunder. Poseidon, god of the sea. Hermes, I'm fast as duck boy. You guys wanna hear a really bullshit idea? It's wild but it is mad funny. H. Shawman. What if Beckendorf Clarice and Selena were the protags of a love triangle story with Selena as the bisexual protagonist fighting over who she really loves, while also being an ironic twist of fate considering the history between Eris, Aphrodite, and Hephaestus. Riordan vs or Marvel crossover would be funny, cause imagine the Canes walking down an alley and seeing Moon Knight standing there like, Rick Riordan, I hate the movies, they are very not book accurate. Me. So the show will be book accurate, right? Rick Riordan. Me. Right? Peter Johnson is here. He said it. He said the thing. Percy, water. Frank, can turn into animal at will. Hazel, I'm gonna pay you this precious stone to duck off. I love you. The Percy Jackson TV show was announced 5 years ago today. Me seeing Lance Reddick playing Zeus in the TV series. Me know it's his final on-screen performance. Nico. Hey, Nico, what's up? Nico, cool jacket. Nico, hey, Nico, wanna come over to my cabin today? Nico, voiceover, they all hated me. Reading Percy Jackson does not mean you are an expert on ancient Greek culture and myth. Whoa, this is worthless. Admit everyone is to blame for the giant war. Blame Apollo, Zeus. Percy and his friends are about to die, and the Titans are gonna take over. The gods, I sleep. Someone sits on their throne. The gods, real shut. I would like to say thanks to the person that taught me Greek mythology. Social studies teacher. Social studies teacher. Sit the duck back down. I ain't talking about you. Rick Riordan. Social studies teacher.